Perhaps the most terrifying of all, Operation Northwoods was actually authorized by the Joint Chiefs of Staff. And one of the craziest of all was codenamed Operation Northwoods. In 1962, officials within the U.S. Department of Defense had proposed a false flag operation that would see the Central Intelligence Agency carrying out acts of terrorism against American citizens on American soil. Additionally, on the hit list were military bases in Miami and Washington, along with plans to destroy U.S. ships as well as refugee boats coming into the states. There were talks of hijacking planes and planting phony evidence to implicate someone else in these various acts of terror. The big question is, why would the U.S. government want to attack Americans? Given the Cold War between the USA and the USSR, Castro created concern among some within the U.S. government and military. So the goal of Operation Northwoods was to carry out attacks on innocent American civilians, as well as kill Cuban refugees, all while pinning these attacks on Castro and implicating the Cuban government. Ultimately, they wanted to paint a false image of the Cuban leader and misinform the American public in hopes it would encourage the sentiment that the U.S. should wage a war against Cuba. Perhaps the most terrifying of all, Operation Northwoods was actually authorized by the Joint Chiefs of Staff, meaning the U.S. almost came dangerously close to carrying out terror attacks on its own people in order to pin their deaths on Cuba. Fortunately, the operation was ultimately rejected by President John F. Kennedy. Of all the things he's remembered for, using his power to stop this absolutely heinous craziness was definitely one of his better decisions.